Welcome to Beyond Sunday, where we take the conversation a step further to grow in our love and understanding of Jesus.
Welcome to Beyond Sunday. My name is Steve. Across from me, as always, my lovely wife, Sarah.
Hey, everyone.
We are into another week of our Q&A series. This week, we're going to be talking about some really fun topics. I wouldn't call them the miscellaneous, part of the questions just yet. There are some miscellaneous ones, but these ones are more about just everyday life, just living, culture, that kind of stuff that was interesting to both of us. But before we get into that, since it is the Christmas season, we are 2 weeks away from Christmas right now. I thought it'd be fun to talk about.
I think we're a week away from Christmas, right?
Is that it?
Is it next week?
It's a week from tomorrow.
Yeah.
As of this recording.
We better get our act together.
Yeah. Our kids are getting gifts. Don't worry. So I thought we could go back in time a little bit and kind of do talk about one of my favorite things when I was a kid was stocking stuffers. My mom always did a great job with stocking stuffers. My grandmother did not. And those are the two stockings that I would get every year. My mom's stocking stuffers were very concise. You got 4 or 5 things in there, and they were all amazing. Probably, maybe there's more. My grandma would go to the Dollar Tree and buy 50 things and individually wrap them, and it was all stuff that would be broken before the day was over. I don't know if you had that
stocking was full.
All right, Sarah.
Yes.
What was stockings like for you as a kid?
So they were, first of all, you were allowed to get into your stocking first. If it was not time to open presents yet, parents weren't downstairs yet, you were allowed to get into your stocking, and whatever was in there is fair game. So
really,
but it was
They didn't care to watch you open the
no,
stockings?
because it was candy and maybe a couple small items. It was nothing.
It kept you occupied,
major. Yes.
So your parents could get a little bit more sleep.
Kind of kept us busy, because opening presents was pretty systematic. You know what I mean? We took turns. We usually went in order of age. Sometimes you had to sit in the center of the room because they had a video camera going. So especially so my mom gave birth on Christmas Day to my younger brother. So she missed that whole morning because she's in the hospital with a baby. So that kind of started the tradition though of recording it. Anyway, so the whole process of opening gifts was very organized and systematic. But until that started, you were allowed to get into your stocking and eat the candy and open the little gifts and stuff. So
very cool. That's neat. We weren't allowed into the room until my dad had the camera ready. And it was set, and it became a joke, especially when we were teenagers, because we were it's the magic isn't the same when you're 18 years old.
But he wanted the reaction when
it's
he stepped in the room.
Look at all this. But what's really cool is he has videos of every single Christmas of us coming in to that room to discover the magic. But it became a thing where Matt and I, especially me because I'm obnoxious, would make a way bigger deal out of it as he entered in the room. And he's could you just be normal? Yeah. So
we have video evidence of my one sister. She would kind of sneak back behind tuck herself behind the tree and slightly open gifts, put little holes in it, and then she'd pop out and be oh, there's a hole in this one, look.
We're gonna do a 90s stocking stuffer. You pick one.
Okay. What
would be your perfect thing? So under toys and fidgety things, which would be your choice? A Tamagotchi, a Koosh ball. You remember Koosh balls?
Yes,
I love Koosh balls. Pogs.
Oh boy.
Mini Stretch Armstrong, or a Tech Deck finger skateboard.
I'm going with Tamagotchi.
Tamagotchi. Did you ever get a Tamagotchi as a kid?
I think I had one for a little bit. I did not do a good job keeping it.
Who did?
Alive.
I don't know if I had one. I think my brother definitely had one. I did not.
Yeah, it was the knockoff one. And they were fun for a minute, but it keeps you entertained. So probably Tamagotchi.
Yeah, okay. Mine would have been, I have a hard time here between Koosh and the Tech Deck.
Oh, really?
I love those tech decks.
Really?
I loved them.
Yeah.
I was terrible at doing tricks with them.
A boy thing. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. That's a boy thing. And the thing missing on this is a Beanie Baby.
Yeah, that would probably be the number one choice.
That would be my number one choice. I want as many Beanie Babies as possible. Anyway, all right, candy and snacks.
Okay.
So maybe this will, because you said usually it was candy. Ring Pops, Push Pop, Warheads, Pop Rocks, Pez dispenser.
Probably Pez dispenser.
Ooh.
Maybe a Push Pop.
I think.
Yeah, I wanted chocolate. Like, none of those sound like they would be my number one choice.
You want chocolate in your stocking?
Yeah.
Over the fireplace.
Well, we didn't have the fireplace going.
See, yeah.
You don't melt the chocolate.
It'd just be a big old lump of chocolate at the bottom. I would pick, Pez dispenser. I think I got a Pez dispenser every single year.
Yeah, those were fun. I like those.
You'd eat all the Pez, and then it was like,
yeah, now what do I do with this? Yeah.
You discard the rest. All right, school desk fun.
Okay.
Gel pens.
Uh-huh.
Lisa Frank stationery.
Oh, I did like that.
Pencil toppers or scented erasers.
I'm between. Can I have the gel pens and the Lisa Frank stationery?
You get one thing in your stocking out of this category.
I did love gel pens. Are they sparkly gel pens?
They're glittery gel pens.
All right, that's
glittery gel pens is it. Would you use them in school?
Yeah.
Were you allowed to?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think we were allowed to.
Yeah. I mean, not on like a test or something, but.
Once again, not something I would have had personally. Or maybe I did. Anyway. All right. Last one, Sarah. Here we go. Lip smackers. Like the chapstick. Mm-hmm. One of your go-to things. Mood rings.
Okay.
Plastic choker. Is that like the little necklace thing?
Yeah.
Those gross necklaces?
I definitely had those, but I would not choose that.
Did you wear that?
Yeah. It was cool, man.
You have... Wait a second. You have made fun of me for the necklace that I wore in high school, and you wore those
because you're a guy.
Guys wore necklaces.
Sometimes, yeah, but those were I did not.
They're heavier duty necklaces.
Yeah, they were
for guys.
so thick. I did not care for those on guys.
Oh man, they were cool. Whatever.
Sure.
But listen, we didn't go to the same school.
That's probably for the best.
Whatever. Yeah. Okay, you know what? I'm done with this game. All right, so Q&A time. So let's get into our Q&A for the 50th week in a row. I don't know how many weeks we are into this, but we've been doing it for a while.
Yeah, it's fun though. I like it.
I love this. So today we're talking about culture, music, and everyday life. Lots of good questions about just what should I do with certain things? Like, how do I respond to certain things? And the first question was probably timely, but it's like 2 months past because we've been sitting on these questions for a while. But the first question was, is Halloween okay to participate in? Which is a great question that I'm sorry we didn't get to before the Halloween.
But every year, it's a good question.
It is.
You know what I mean? Because there's always going to be activities you can participate in around that holiday. So what's okay to participate in?
I think everything always comes down to a matter of heart, like why we're doing what we're doing and what we're doing within it. I think that's why we've been doing this Proverbs series for so long now. It's just like kind of baked into everything. But am I using wisdom in the choices that I'm making when it comes to everything? Like Halloween, obviously, traditionally and historically, if you go back like thousands of years or a couple thousand years, was part of a pagan ritual. Mm-hmm. I believe the Druids were the ones that began the whole because it was the final festival, as darkness started to overwhelm. It was the final day of the harvest before the cold took over and it became the time of lacking things, right? The harvest was over. And so it was there was a lot of fear and all kinds of stuff that they tied into it, and like ghosts and all this kind of stuff. The festival that was referred to as Samhain, which to this day is still celebrated by pagan religions and stuff. There's people that do witchcraft and all of that, and it's still very much alive and well. And we can verge into that in some areas if we're not cautious. We have to use wisdom in the choices that we make. Sarah and I listened to a podcast called Becoming Something. And they did a whole episode on this because we're not going to focus on it for nearly as long as they did. They did a full half-hour-long episode on it. So I would encourage you, listen to their episode. It's a lot of great information.
Mhm.
But I think if we're just going to boil this all down to like a quick answer, quicker answer, is these 3 R's. You want to go over that? Or do you want me to?
So basically what they say is this, as with any secular cultural sort of ritual, you kind of have 3 options that you can look at it through the lens of: are you going to receive it, are you going to reject it, or are you going to redeem it? And so receiving just being like, yeah, this is what the culture is doing, so yeah, we're going to participate because everybody's doing it. Who cares what the underlying meaning is in it? You know what I mean? It's just like fun holiday stuff. Rejecting is it has its, roots or how it was founded or built, has some things in it that we don't agree with. So we are going to have nothing to do with the holiday, and we don't participate in anything that has anything to do with Halloween or whatever it is. Not just Halloween, but this can apply to other holidays and cultural events and activities. Or the third being redeeming it, which is kind of finding that balance between there can be good things about in a culture when people choose to go out and get together and celebrate and do things as a community. You can kind of like shut yourself off from that and not participate at all. Or you can choose to, okay, I'm going to enter in, but I'm going to use this as an opportunity to witness to people or to show them, the light, basically. You know what I mean? Like kind of be the light in those situations where, and some people do this. They will hand out candy and they'll happily accept trick-or-treaters at their house, but they're also like tacking on a little Bible verse with it or something like that, where they're going to use the opportunity to get to know their neighbors and get to talk to people and witness to people, and just use it as an opportunity to connect with others. And so those are kind of like, that's kind of the lens that they are looking at this whole topic through, is I can accept it, reject it, receive it, reject it, or redeem it. Like use it as an opportunity to connect with others. Yeah.
And I think our best option always is find ways to connect with those who do not believe the same way that you do. So within that, being mindful of like how you're representing yourself. How are you dressing for that day? Like, what am I representing when I dress up? Yeah. Like if you dress up as Spider-Man, there's pretty much no implications there. Right. But if you're dressing up as a witch, I mean, that does tie into some other things. So you have to be like very mindful of what you're representing when you go out. So be thoughtful about that. But just going around the season too, like one of the other things that's really popular around the season is scary movies and all that. Be mindful of what you're filling your heart and your mind with as well, that you're not desensitizing yourself to, like, we live in a spiritual world. There is a spiritual realm. It's real. Like the enemy wants to get you to believe that, no, this is nothing that's real or anything, but it's very much real. And so just be mindful of like what you're putting into your heart, into your mind, even around that season. And like, then like, make sure you're not like, celebrating those kinds of things as you go out, because it's a pitfall you can fall into very easily. Something that I probably went into way too much when I was younger. It filled my head with nonsense, like so much nonsense. A lot of those movies are designed to like, stimulate the mind and all in a lot of negative ways, in very discouraging ways. So I would say, let Christ lead you, like in all areas of life, obviously, but especially in this area where it's like, I don't want to be deceived and convince myself that this is all just okay because everybody else is doing it. Like that should never be the way that we live our life.
And culturally, yes, we will be told all this is fine. It's just fun. It's just innocent fun. Nobody means any harm by it. 1 Corinthians 10:31 says, so whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do all to the glory of God.
Yep.
And so you have to be mindful, like the parties you choose to go to? Or are you going to be able to represent Christ in that environment? Yeah, like you said, the costume you choose to wear or not wear. How do you choose to represent yourself in those situations? Now, if you enter into a situation where like you're like, oh, I'm gonna choose to go to this party because I can be representative of Christ, but then you immediately start doing what everybody else is doing in those situations. Are you representing Christ? So you kind of have to know, like, do I have the self-control and the strength to enter into these situations and still be able to stand firm on my faith, and not just kind of be pulled into these things? Because when things are normalized so much by our culture, it's very hard to fight against it, especially if you are the only one doing so.
Yeah.
So just be mindful what you even say yes to, what you choose to attend or participate in. Like even just going out trick-or-treating with friends. If you know you might find yourself in a not good situation, maybe you don't even go along. You know what I mean?
I absolutely
just
agree.
sit that one out,
Yeah. Be mindful. Like don't celebrate the season in a way that, like if Jesus was standing right there with you,
exactly.
Do you think he'd be like, yeah, let's do this? Or,
right.
Yeah, this is not great.
Yes.
I mean, and that's why we always wore if we went back to the 90s stocking stuffers, the WWJD bracelet would probably be one of those things you could throw in there with your lip smackers. All right. Next question.
I'm going to ask you this question, Steve.
What?
The next question.
Go ahead, hit me.
Do you listen to secular music? And what is your opinion on listening to those kind of songs?
I listen to no secular music. No, I listen to, so a lot of people kind of know my story. Like music has just been a huge part of my life since the time I was like a little kid. Like it was on all the time in my house, whether it was inside the house, out my dad's garage, in the car, like and then I ended up working at a store that sold like CDs and cassettes because that's the time that I lived in, way before the time of streaming. Like my life was music, and I will say this, like music inspired me to become like a big part of who I am, like being a musician and singing, all of that kind of stuff would not exist without the music that I grew up on. Like, I'm not going to sit here and like celebrate any one musician or anything, because that's not what this is all about. The idea is that I listened to it, but came to a realization when I was in my like early to mid 20s that it was an obsession. And that's where the real issue lied, is like I became obsessed with like individuals, like their ideals, their like, their writing, everything, which is, exactly where my heart should be with Christ and not with other things. So I actually had to make a decision at one point in my early 20s to take out a massive CD collection that I had collected over probably close to a decade and throw it away. Like I got rid of it because I didn't feel good about selling it, because it was like, if I sell this, then I'm just giving something to somebody else that is like, I feel like is a problem for me. So I'm making it somebody else's problem. And so I threw away probably hundreds of dollars worth of stuff. It was good. Like, and then I allowed myself to be filled with like better stuff. And that's what I focused in on. And then over time, I felt like I was in a better place to allow myself to kind of combine the both. But this is what I have found. Secular music can have a massive negative influence on your life. Those words are still penetrating your heart and your mind. You're singing along. You don't even realize it. But it sinks deeply into your psyche. And like it kind of like, it can have a very negative influence on who you are. And that's why I would discourage you from like listening to things that are, sexually explicit, like verbally explicit, like concepts and things that are like make you feel down. There's music. I mean, music is emotionally manipulative. That's what it's designed to do, is to manipulate how you feel. Like you listen to like happy up tempo music, you're going to feel happy. Like that's what it does. If you listen to sad, like emo music, I guess from like when I was like, in my teens and 20s, it's going to make you feel miserable. Like that's what music does to us. Like it's poetry. It elicits emotion. So be mindful of what you're filling yourself with, and all the more encouragement of why like you should be like filling yourself with worship music and hymns and like all kinds of stuff that will go into your mind and like help you focus more on God. And so when I find myself in these like times where like I'm listening to a lot more secular music, and I kind of like let things get away from me a little bit with just like listening to it and not like listening to a lot of like Christian music, I find myself like feeling things that I know I shouldn't be feeling, right? Because it's still manipulating me in a way. But and then there's some times where there's some music like I'm not as much of a lyrics guy as I am like a musicianship guy. And sometimes I need to be like a little inspired musically to like continue to push on like playing guitar and that kind of thing. Because like within the realm of worship music, it's not overly complex when it comes to like the guitar playing and all of that kind of stuff. It's far more simplistic, which is what's built for. Worship music's meant for the lyrics, not as much like the musicianship. And so, it's a very delicate balance, and I would encourage you to make sure that you're filling yourself with good stuff too. And also like if you're filling your mind with like stuff that's constantly swearing or sexually explicit, like that kind of stuff, it's doing something to you. It's going to make you feel things and think things. And I would say if it's doing that, you notice that, make the wise choice and remove it from your life.
Yes.
And maybe that's for a longer season than you would want to, than you're comfortable with. Like for me, it was several years. I'll say this, like my favorite band, we've talked about this a million times. This has been the Dave Matthews Band since I was 16, but there was like a 5-year period where I didn't listen to them at all, like at all. And then when I did feel like I was in a place where like, okay, like listening to this, it's not going to allow it to, it's not going to be in the same place that it was before. It worked for a little bit and then it became a problem again. And I had to step back again. Like, so like saying all that to say, like, it has a power over you, whether you realize it or not. You might be like, that's the crappiest band. How could it have a hold on you? It's like, well, like for me, it was like, it spoke to me on multiple levels. So like, and there's going to be something for you that speaks to you on so many levels. If it has a high level of influence on your life, you need to remove it.
Now, and I think this is kind of cool too, where God uses that stuff too. He can redeem certain aspects of that in you. Like you picked up a guitar and started playing because you had this passion for music and you really liked like you said, the musicianship you were finding in some of those bands. And so that sparked something in you, and you now sing and play on the worship team, which is part of your ministry. So God has used that passion in you. But like we said before, when you're not being intentional, we drift, and we always drift back towards like our selfish desires if we're not intentional about. So it is one of those things you have to continually be mindful of. And you're like, oh, if this doesn't impact me, like we don't always get to choose what impacts us. It's happening whether we want to acknowledge it or not. So it is something that you just really have to be intentional about. Is this good for me? Is it filling me up in a way that is reflective of like I can be a good representative of Christ, or is this doing things to my mind that is not healthy and is making me struggle to be a good representative of Christ? And if so, we need to remove it. And so you just have to know that yourself. You know what I mean? We can tell you all day, but you have to acknowledge it and be able to put those disciplines into your life to remove that stuff.
Yep. So speaking of it, while we're on the topic of music, another question that came in is, there's a song that you like to listen to?
Do you have a favorite song?
It was actually one of my top songs of the year was "He Is" by Crowder.
Okay.
Like this was one of my all-time favorites by him. I can listen to Crowder all day, every day.
Yeah.
Something about guys named Dave or David. I really dig their music.
Yeah.
That goes all the way back to King David with the Psalms. Yeah, there's something about guys with that name that just really appeal to me musically. But I've always liked about him is like he's way more of a musician than most guys in the Christian realm. And I just always been like drawn to David Crowder and his music, like even going back to David Crowder Band in like the early 2000s. That was my first Christian album. I think I bought it only because it was like David something band. And I was like, well, that's got to be almost the same thing as, and it wasn't, but it hit me. And I was like, and it was like the first time like that Christian music spoke to me. Worship music, like, you know, it just hit me. And like, you know, Glory of It All, David Crowder is probably one of my all-time favorites. I mean, I think early on when I was just the worship leader, it was Crowder song after David Crowder Band song after David Crowder Band song. Like they just all like they hit me just right.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it was really. Do you have a favorite worship song right now?
I always like Goodness of God. That's probably one of my favorites.
Goodness of God's a great one.
Yeah. There's a couple others I've had on repeat.
There's that Charity Gale song that I like a lot.
Because of Jesus. That's a good one.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Jesus, for the blood.
Yeah, she's got a lot of good ones, Charity Gale.
Name above all names, I believe. Yeah. She's got worship hit after worship hit after worship hit. But here's the thing, too. Even with Christian artists, they're not meant to be lifted up and praised and glorified. The idea is that we're praising and glorifying Jesus. And I feel like I have to throw that in there because there's a celebrity worship problem within the Christian realm just as much as there is within the secular realm. So just be mindful of that. Like it's cool to like somebody's song, but don't like become obsessed with the individual. And if that individual is putting themselves out there in a way that's like trying to draw attention to them and not to God, they might be like, oh yeah, like you could tell when somebody's like making it all about them. I'm not going to throw any names out there, but it's very evident in the current Christian market. Don't give in to that. I've never been about that. Like I'm always about like people that are humble in their approach. But there's a lot of Christian celebrity out there that it's discouraging to see. So just food for thought. I'm not going to get too much more into that.
The last question in this category, and I feel like we've kind of touched on this, but let's ask it anyway. So how does changing what you listen to change who you are and make you a better person?
Well, I like this. 1 Corinthians 15:33. Do not be conceived. Bad company ruins good morals. I just talked about this on Sunday with the teens. If all you're taking in is stuff that is negative, it's explicit in multitude of ways. It objectifies women, or it's like there's just like swearing constantly. It's going into you, and your mind is going to do something with it. Like that's just how God has built us to operate. That's like why when we're worshipers and like we draw closer to God because like He's what we're focused in on. But whatever we're focused in on, whatever goes in, does eventually come back out. And so, if all you're taking in is like swearing or sexually explicit material, like that's going to come out of you as well. It's going to mess up your desires. It's going to mess up your heart. It's going to play with you. So if you remove that from your life, you'll start thinking in a different way. We are, I hate to say it like this, but it's biblical. We're sheep. Sheep are simple. Like they're just kind of gonna go with whatever way they're being led. They don't know what's happening to them. They just kind of go and they eat. Like that's what happens. Like and the shepherd moves them along, and you know, Jesus being the good shepherd, the one that we're supposed to trust our life with, will lead us to good things because we're not going to really pay attention when the wolves are coming, right? Like, but Jesus is. So be mindful of that. Like, there's stuff that's just not good for us, but we're not going to be aware of it until sometimes it's too late and we're already being devoured by it.
Well, and can I add this too? Not just explicit content, but just secular music as a whole tends to have a very casual view of relationships and
Mhm.
just how you treat people. And like, we definitely overemphasize like the love aspect, like the
Oh, yeah, that's
feelings,
good
the
too.
emotions,
Yep.
the loves. That's all feeding into your mind what is normal and what, follow your feelings, follow your desires. So it doesn't even have to be explicit content. It could just be that you are absorbing a lot of that mentality of like, just the casualness or the over the top like feelings based like emotions and desires that you should be chasing and following. Those are not biblical. So
Yep.
you have to keep that in mind too. Like, oh, it's clean, it's family friendly. Well, is it? Yeah.
Is it? Because it's
it?
funny because, like we'll listen to like stuff from like back in the, 60s and 70s. Like
Yeah.
we talked about our Spotify Wrapped age and I'm 72 because I listened to a lot of stuff from back in the 60s.
Yes.
I love 60s music, but like you listen to some of that and it's like, man, there was still like a casualness about like, I mean, obviously like there was like the free love era of the late 60s, but even when you get into like the 50s and 60s with some of this music, it's like, oh, there's still like a casualness about like sex and relationships and everything that was prevalent then. It's just as prevalent now. It's just there's no shame in it anymore. So it's much more abundant and just out there.
Yes.
And like it's not like anything that's shameful. It's almost applauded like for like a bravery thing. I mean, you got like Taylor Swift who's made an entire career out of just putting out her feelings about everything and the relationships and all of this. And like be careful about listening to that kind of stuff.
Yeah. What is the message that you are taking in? And like you said, music, it's emotionally manipulative, but we listen to it on repeat. So it is ingrained in us. You know what I mean? We find a good song we like, and we listen to it again and again. And so those words they sink into us.
Absolutely.
And so you don't realize the impact it's having. So to answer that question, how does it change? How does changing what you listen to change who you are? It's what you're absorbing. It is what you are taking in. It affects you.
Absolutely.
So, and then that's what comes out of you too.
And it will come out.
Yes.
So, and it will play into your relationships because you're like, well, what would this person do? Because it's just there. It's there for recall. Like that's why we say like, put the word in first.
Yes.
Before you put anything else in. And then like, once you have the word in there, you're probably not going to want anything else. So just be very mindful of that. Yeah. Last question when it comes to culture, because one of the big cultural shifts over the past, I feel like decade has been gambling has become far more prevalent. And it's and more accessible than it's ever been. It used to be, I feel like gambling, it used to be a far more shameful act in some ways. Like if you were going to gamble, you had to like go to a casino to do it, to put bets and like do all that kind of stuff. Now it's like from the comfort of your own couch while you're watching the game, do you want to bet on this? And like you're getting commercials constantly about, BetMGM and, ESPN and, whatever. Like there's a DraftKings, all these billion different things and apps that are like, so it makes it instantly accessible to you. And here's the deal with it. Because the question was, is gambling wrong? What if I'm good at it? Even if I'm winning? Here's lovely question. Like I honestly, the question gave me a good chuckle. I don't know if it like was meant like as like kind of a little bit funny, like jokey. It had to have been that way. But here's the thing with gambling. Gambling is addictive, and it doesn't allow you to be a good steward of what God has given you. Let's just talk about the addictive nature of it first. Like you win something and you gain a little bit, like it triggers a chemical reaction in your brain to keep doing this action because it felt good. Much like anything.
There's a little bit of a thrill with it. Yeah.
There's thrill, but there's that dopamine hit. Like, oh, I got something good out of this. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Which becomes dangerous because now what you're doing is you're taking something that God has blessed you with and using it for something that's not good. And it can end up robbing you and your future family and everyone. Because you could become very easily indebted within gambling as well. Like, I mean, we've seen people over the years, both like personally in our, like, not like in our close lives, but around us close enough, even to, just hearing the testimonies of other people where they're like hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt because of gambling, because it is so addictive. And it's like, this time it's going to be different. This time it's going to be different. Like, because like the thrill that one time led to something that is now something that you cannot juke and get away from. That's why all those things, they always have to put a thing like, have a gambling problem, like call this number. They legally have to do it because it's just as dangerous as like a smoking or drinking habit.
Yes.
That's how concerning this should be for you. If you're winning, it doesn't make it okay because you're going to lose. Like the house is always going to end up winning.
Yeah. Yes. A lot of these companies, I mean, not a lot, all of them design it so that like maybe you win a little bit now and then to keep you coming back, but you are designed, it's designed to that you lose. You know what I mean? And so like, but they want you to feel a little bit so that you can keep coming back, and they want you to keep trying, keep playing because they are making tons of money off of you.
Yep.
But more importantly, I mean, the Bible says all over the place, how many different places, the dangers of chasing after money and do not let it become an idol. And so like 1 Timothy 6 says, for the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. Not money itself, but the love of money. So if you are chasing it, if you have a passion and desire to really like get rich quick, you know what I mean? And that's the thing about gambling. It's not like you're working hard and earning money. It's like you just want the quick answer. You want the quick cash, you know? And so that's not healthy at all. Proverbs 13:11 says, wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gains little by little will increase it. So there's some good, healthy design to the, like, you earn what you have and you do it over time. We're not meant to like get rich quick. That's not healthy for us. Most of the time when people win the lottery, they blow it pretty quick because they really weren't designed to, you know,
it's really sad,
manage that kind of money. You know what I mean? And so it is sad. So, I'm going to give one more. Hebrews 13:5 says, keep your life free from love of money and be content with what you have. And that's just it too. Like, why are we chasing money? Why do we feel like we need that? God gives us what we need. And so we can find contentment in that. We can praise him daily for what he does give us, or we can be chasing and seeking more and more and more. But again, that's not healthy, and that's not how he designed us. If we're chasing and seeking, it needs to be after him, not after worldly things.
Exactly. Yeah. So be wise in all that you do. Like, think through things and think, why am I doing what I'm doing?
Yes.
Because the answer should always come back to, like, am I content and satisfied enough with Jesus? Period. Like, everything else is just, you know, it's not, none of that other stuff's it's not going to come with us once we're gone. Like, it doesn't come with us. So, like, am I valuing the important stuff?
Right.
That's what really matters. So that is our episode for this week, and we hope you enjoyed these questions. I know we did. They were kind of varied this time a little bit, but like, we have to understand the culture that we're living in. And they were really good questions. So we look forward to talking to you again as we continue on the Q&A series. I'm Steve.
I'm Sarah.
And thanks for joining us Beyond Sunday. We'll see you.
Bye.